In the mid 1970s, the average fleet-wide capacity factor was in the 50s. Now it's close to certainly above 90%. This is effectively saying you're getting almost twice as much energy out of the same capacity as you did back in the 1970s. So this is a real success story for US nuclear power.
I've never seen a shift in the general public's view over a generation resource change so fast. We were closing down nuclear plants very recently, and now I think most environmental groups are actually supportive, as well as their grassroots members, which is interesting, just because of I know in my own case, just like thinking about climate crisis, these other issues can be managed. This is carbon free power. We kind of need it all.
When I first started in this, nuclear was a four-letter word. When you think nuclear, they think, bombs and boom, and not electricity, clean carbon, clean generation. We cannot think that nuclear is going to be the sole savior or the sole generation provider for data centers, just as we can't think that coal or natural gas would be those. We have to be smart. We have to be regionally specific, right?
Brownfield site is probably much easier to do things on than a greenfield site. These are not sites that you're probably going to want to build houses on, or schools, or universities, or daycare centers, or whatever. So you might as well, make use of them. And
Wind and solar supply a lot of low cost energy onto the grid. And so there are plenty of power systems where you can get a majority of your power from wind and solar. You got to have the interconnected grid, and you got to have large regional power markets. Unless we have incredibly low cost and long duration storage, which we don't have, who knows if we'll ever get that. Then you need something that's more firm. So that's where nuclear comes in.
Gas is kind of like your primary bridge to nuclear, but what we also just have to remember and admit that even though we seem flush with gas, it's still a finite resource.